Hey everybody, this is my 97 F-250 diesel that I installed a Pierce universal dump bed kit on. I believe it's 2.2 ton or maybe 2.5 tons. Anyways, it's a universal kit and it doesn't have real good instructions on it. So I just thought I'd do a quick video and show the alignment, the breakdown of it, because the pictures in the supplied manual are less than adequate in some aspects. This is the power up, power down kit because I discovered that it would be a lot more solid to hook the bed down on with. It doesn't rattle as much as the gravity bleed off down. There's the hydraulic ram. Okay, its alignment on the F-250 is here's the cross member bar here by the front or forward fuel tank. There's a cross member reinforcement plate that bolts underneath here. It has to be cut to size. It doesn't fit between the gussets on the cross member. So you cut that to size, kind of do a rough alignment. And then this plate here, where the hydraulic ram attaches through with this big pin, bolts through that plate. So you roughly align those, clamp them into place, and put this hydraulic ram on to see basically how it clears. In this case, this aftermarket big exhaust system the previous owner put on kind of was in the way, but I didn't work around it. This does have to be offset on the F-250. It can't be centerlined in the frame. And this, I put a cross member. I just welded that cross member on. When it fully rests, it would bounce around with the hydraulic slop in it. I put the cross member in just to prevent it from doing that. It doesn't seem to make a lot of noise. It doesn't bounce and whack a lot, which is kind of nice. But I didn't want it potentially hitting the differential down there. Hoses come through underneath the cross member and then come to your hydraulic system and your pump. Like I said, this is the power up, power down. One of the things I didn't like was they just had you hooking the controls up with the nuts, and then you had to unhook it every single time you wanted to hook the remote up and off. So I just wired in a 4-prong trailer plug, soldered it to make sure it had good continuity. I made that one short enough that when I unplug it, it can tuck up underneath here under the bed, out of the way with a cap. And then the remote is on about a 15-foot cord, and you can power down and power that up. Not a bad kit. It's about $1,200, $1,300. I did my installation myself because they want a ridiculous amount of money. The local dealers around here. Here is about the hardest part to figure out, this back pivoting pin. All right, these brackets hook up to your bed, and then there's a pivoting pin through here. Okay, and then you have to cut part of your frame channel out to align this up to allow this to pivot and then sit flush in its original spot. My recommendation is listen to the instructions, cut it, but don't bolt it in. That plate is held in with 4 grade 8 bolts. Don't bolt it in until you put the bed in and kind of wiggle it into position and get a rough idea, and then drill the final holes. This application, I pulled the bed off completely so I could get access to it. Followed their instructions, bolted it in, and it was too far forward, so I had to unbolt it, pull it back, drill a bunch more holes, and then I had to cut the plate around a couple of the bumper, welded bumper bolt, retention bolt. So I had to fit it around that. Not bad if you got the tools, but there's this side, the other side is over there. Sorry about the glare. But that's probably the most critical point on it. If you come over to this side, I had to, in this case, modify the bumper a little bit to clear the bed. And in this particular model with the 2 dual tanks, I created my own brackets to move the gas pump, or the fuel fill away from the bed mounts, because they obviously can't go through the bed anymore. Just I'll lower it down and show you the application on that. It's not a bad kit though, like I said. It's just playing with it. It's well worth it. Bracket ram comes up into here, and this cross member beam reinforces between the two cross members of the bed. Just make sure that you use the grade 8 bolts, drill it through, and then I reinforce this backside with this piece of angle iron that they provided, figuring that the forces would be pulling it down. It need to be reinforced there. Travel's not too bad speed wise. Haven't put a big load in it yet. As we lower this down, there are some bed aligners that they include. I'll show you those. They're right there. You've got to kind of fit them around your frame. It should guide the frame on. It's supposed to prevent the side to side, but it's far from great. I will reinforce that and do a better one later. Bed drops down, aligns itself up. Sorry about that. And the fuel filler necks now tucked down in here underneath the frame, or below the frame, off the side and under the wheel well. Sorry about that glare. Let's do a back look. As long as it clears the bed here, then it should be okay. Like I said, I just welded those brackets, clamped them onto this. I can still get a fuel filler nozzle in there and fill it up without having to raise and lower the bed. This kit, like I said, it's not bad. The instructions leave a lot to be desired, which is why I made this. And of course, this is only for the old body style Ford pickups. The General Motors, the Chryslers are going to be different, but the kit's exactly the same. So you do have to tweak and modify it. If anybody's doing this particular kit on their F-250, leave a little mark. I'll see if I can catch it and try to give you some input if you need any help. Anyways, thanks.